Now, lifeadministration.com presents the Life Administration Podcast. Here are your hosts, Leslie Loftus and Ryan Taylor.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Life Administration Podcast. My name is Ryan Taylor, and with me, as always, is
Leslie Loftus. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
I am a little in the fog today.
I vouched and verified.
Yeah.
So it's yellow dust season here in Texas, and so pollen everywhere. And I think the freeze has kind of pushed it back, so we have more intense everything.
It was off the charts, looking at the pollen count this past week. So yeah, I didn't come on Thursday, which I normally do.
Right.
I mean, I didn't work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just a headache, sneeze, and mucus. And I had that moment where
they've been married for a while.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
goodness.
and we're about to celebrate our 14th wedding anniversary.
Oh yeah, because this is definitely a post 10 years thing.
Oh, yeah,
You told me this story. Just guys, it's gross. Anyway.
So anyway, I have like so much mucus in my face. It's the only way I can call it. It's not even my brain, it's my face. And so I go and I blow it, and you blow your nose and you go like, my goodness, that's impressive. Like that's a lot of mucus. Like, how is it possible that there's so much in my face? And so then normally a normal human being would take that and throw it away and go wash their hands. But no. At 14 years of marriage, you see something that impressive, you immediately run to your spouse and go, babe, look what I did.
You are lucky she loves you.
She was not amused. She said, get that away from me. She was recovering from her own like cold, and that was not allergy related. So,
but yes, there are times that you just like, how in the world did I produce that much?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It was pretty intense.
Yeah. So he has apparently taken pretty much every antihistamine known to man this morning.
Yep.
He's a little foggy. Just saying.
And also on top of that, like I do intermittent fasting. I've mentioned that before.
You haven't eaten either.
I haven't eaten.
Oh.
So I'm just drinking water and having the medicine. And
okay. To my listeners, I hope that this all goes, this goes okay.
Hey, this could be the episode that no one ever hears. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think we're recording, so we're good.
Yeah,
I see a red light. We're fine.
The red light means we're good.
Yes. And so allergies is a normal part of life. It's a normal part of our life cycle. It's spring. It's new. It's fresh. And things are getting back to normal. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Go with the segue. Nice.
Yes.
Nice. That's on the cusp of awkward and good. I mean, it's just right there on the line.
It sounded better in my mind, like when
your foggy mind.
Yeah, my foggy mind. Exactly. So that my filter is not very good. Not
exactly.
Very good.
But anyway, here we are. We're recording this at the end of March 2021. So we are just a little over a year from when everything went sideways and stayed home. Mm-hmm. But now with vaccine rollout and frankly, just as many people had been infected normally, normal's looking closer.
Yeah.
Okay, not normal, because if anybody thinks we're just going to go back to the way that things were, I think everybody's been disabused of that illusion for quite some time.
Getting back to the new normal,
right? Exactly, which is a bit cliche now, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. So, we can see things sort of becoming okay. We can gather again. We can do these things again. Mm-hmm. There might be some time in the not so distant future anymore where you can go around generally without masks. Mm-hmm. Stuff like masks. Okay. I still wear them even though I got a Johnson & Johnson vaccine. It was awesome. So I'm 3 week post Johnson & Johnson. Because then I was one and done. It was
one and done.
And also I didn't have a whole lot of side effects, because a lot of people are talking about with the second jab of Moderna or Pfizer, that, and my husband had his second jab on Friday, and Saturday was just kind of
feeling a little rough, a little run down.
Yeah. Just like when you're starting to get the flu or starting to get a cold or something, then he was fine about 24 hours later, but still a bit, I didn't have as much of I guess I did. I felt, I felt a little run down the day after mine too,
Mhm.
but now fine. I'm 3 weeks post. Even still, I still wear a mask around because lots of people are wearing masks and you need them to wear to business.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've already talked about snot. So this is not so out of the,
We're good.
masks give me boogers. It drives me nuts because then you're also much more likely to want to like touch your face because your nose itches.
You know, we've been in this for a year now. And one thing that I can say I've never heard before, masks give me boogers. I've never, I mean, I get it, right? Like the condensation, maybe you got some hot breath going on and it goes up into your schnoz and then out it comes out.
And then there's, little fibers from the mask or whatever. Cause I'm not usually wearing the paper ones. I have a cloth one. So, right. So the next thing you end up with more boogers and then your nose itches and then you want to touch your face and anyhow, I'll be
Pandemic
happy.
problems.
Yeah. Pandemic problems. I'll be happy to be done with those.
Yes.
When we're done with those.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I think you're saying, so no side effects, you're feeling good. Cause I mean, I think that there is like, there's a little bit of apprehension out there as far as, people are sort of tracking side effects, what's happening to folks, there's some, maybe it was rushed a little bit, but you're here, you're feeling good.
Right.
And honestly, like that's what I've heard.
Right. At this point, at my age, I know a lot of people that were in 1 or especially 1B. So a lot of my cohort is in 1B. And so at this point, I probably know half or more of my adult friends who have already been jabbed. And pretty consistently, there's a bit of a reaction with the second shot. But other than that, yeah. And even then, the reaction's about 24 hours and you feel a bit like you feel before a bad cold comes on that day. And then everybody kind of wants to sleep that day off. And then fine.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's good. That's good. So we're talking about organizing for the new normal today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So, and we've talked about it a little before, back when we were still in the, this is still going on for a while, starting to think about what, think ahead. What kind of things would you like to preserve? What kind of things do you, because after about 6 months or so in this, some people, we had some data now to look at, okay, I really like how that works. I really don't like how that works. So, we've already asked you to think through those things that you would like to see going forward and kind of sort of plan for those a little bit. But now's the time to actually lay down the solid plans. Now's the time to think through this stuff. So, we also recently did a episode on closets. I think we called it Closets 202 because, as everyone might imagine, work habits are changing, or work going habits are changing. Also, I think even for offices that are going to go back close to full time, I don't really know of any offices personally that are going full, that plan on going back full time. A couple of them are talking about it, but nobody can really see that coming along. Even then, they're leaning towards a little bit more casual. You're already seeing designers, so different clothing brands start to react and starting to have a little bit more dressed up leisure clothes, so things are getting a little softer, a little more comfortable, a little less confining. So I think we're going to see a bit more of a casual style, even a formal casual merger style. If you're a lawyer and you're going to the courtroom, you're still wearing a suit and a tie. Yeah.
It reminds me of Barney, like How I Met Your Mother. He had the sleep suit, right? The sleep suit is like, just in case something happens, I'm ready to go. Anyway, formal and casual merging together. Right. I was thinking in my mind, I was like, what does that look like for me? Like what piece of clothing would be formal and casual? And I landed on the Barney suit. The sleep suit. Yeah.
And for women, I'm thinking more of trousers that are a little less structured and a little more flowy and pull on.
Yeah.
But they still look like, say, a wide leg pair of pants. That's, it still looks like it's got some structure and stuff, but frankly, and you wouldn't wear it to, say, a yoga class, but you could. It's got that kind of give in it. So clothing looks like it's getting a little bit more forgiving, I guess.
I like that.
Anyhow, but we talked about some of that in closet, reanalyzing what your wardrobe looks like going forward. So if you haven't done that yet, then make that one of the things that you need to look at. what kind of dressing are you going to be doing?
Yeah.
You know, what kind of meetings are still going to be in person? What kind of meeting? Because I think there are a few community meetings, things that might stay on Zoom. We'll get to Zoom in just a second. I think work will return to being in the office, but not as often.
Yep.
So now you only need 2 or 3 days worth of formal clothes a week. And by the way, now they're more spaced out, so you don't really need to think through about having new and fresh stuff that people haven't seen, because so you can shrink that part of your wardrobe.
Change your tie and you're good.
Right. You can shrink that part of your wardrobe by about 25%.
Yeah,
probably easily. Right. So think through those sorts of things and start adapting. Now start making the purchases and the giveaways. And I'm actually doing this one right now. Going through my closet and taking what I have, you know how here at Life Administration, we like the using what you have, taking the stuff that you have and recombining it in different ways so that, you know what? Even if I am going to change my general style and how I'm dressing, I don't actually need to purchase that much stuff,
right?
Because I can recombine things, you know, so it's no longer that this, I don't know, silk shell goes with this suit or the formal pants. Actually, it can go with the blue jeans too. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think we're going to see less of blue jeans personally, but that's just me.
You do. I'm such a blue jean fan.
I know. That's definitely generational in us, but you know, blue jeans are one of those things that are a little more confining, a little more restrictive.
That's true. That's true. So I do this weird thing. This is a quick 30-second commercial break. Number one, I actually remember what I did on Saturday.
Finally, he couldn't remember before
right. So before we hit record, I was trying to remember. I'm like, all right, I know I taught on Saturday, but we had a garage sale.
There you go.
That's what we did. And that was the whole week.
Clearly, he blocked it out.
I did. Did
it go well?
I mean, we got rid of a lot of stuff, which was awesome. So our grass is, as you guys know, we had the freeze destroyed.
Right.
So I looked to see how much it would cost, because I don't really want to do, this is way off the trail here, but I don't really want to do all of the seeding and the fertilizing and just that whole process. It just takes a very long time. So just putting in sod's going to be a couple $100.
Yep.
Right. So that's cheap. So the idea was, can we get enough money for this garage sale to then pay for the sod, which we did. So that's great. And
now I remember talking to you on Saturday, and you actually said, no, y'all got it. And then some. Yeah,
exactly. Sweet. That's right. We did. That's where I'm at. I don't even remember talking to you on Saturday. Holy cow. Anyway, I have no idea where I was going.
Power of antihistamines you were going with. Y'all had what you remembered on Saturday, and that y'all had a garage sale on Saturday, and we were talking about clothing. So I'm thinking you're talking about how successful Lauren was in redoing hers, because you said that was the big thing for y'all's garage sale, is that Lauren's clothes went like hotcakes.
I'm so thankful that I'm
glad we talked on Saturday now.
I've known you long enough that you actually go, no, I can pick all of these out of your brain. What was weird is I felt this weird invasion of privacy, as it was my brain was yep. And then that happened. And that happened. And then
it was the force.
Yeah. Then I felt okay about it. Anyway. Yep. So you're going to have a better idea of what your work routine is going to look like. You'll be able to manage your clothes better. And that's what ended up happening for the yard sale. There was so many things in there that Lauren looked at her, and really it was her business kind of attire. She's like, I'm not wearing this anymore. This is not. So
a business kind of attire from her 10-year younger self.
Exactly.
Right. It's it didn't fit on multiple levels. No. It still fit.
Oh yeah, it fit. Yeah, and it fit her, but it's just, she's not in that stage of her life. That's not where her heart is. She's doing different things. Right. She likes to teach Sunday school, so.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not a very suit kind of endeavor, especially when you're teaching Sunday school to littles.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk about our home office now.
Okay. So since you probably are going to be working somewhat from home, or if you're in that kind of industry, lots of people will be working more from home now going forward. So what are the kind of, you've probably sorted out all of the major problems that came up early in the pandemic, the things like, okay, we can't have offices right next to each other because then we're both on conference call and the noise, et cetera. right? So you probably settled things like location and stuff. Well, now actually go through and, okay, this is going to be my workspace.
Yes.
This is going to be my, roommate or my spouse's workspace, however it kind of sorts out. And go ahead and set it up. The next thing, note about mics.
Yeah.
Okay. Going forward, we are going to have a whole lot. We're not going to have as much Zoom as we have now. I don't think.
But it's like, if anything, what the pandemic sort of proved was like, that is a useful way to communicate. That it's better than a phone call, not as good as in person, but there are a lot of things that you can get done, on a Zoom call.
Right.
No question. Now, with that being said, a lot of people don't like Zoom calls because of the way that they sound. And so here's the deal, right? Audio file here. So,
Yep.
I'm going to put you in the right direction.
I'm softballing this to him.
Yep.
This whole comment was about get yourself a mic.
Yep. So like, I'm going to kind of guide you in here, and you're thinking to yourself, Ryan, dude, I got it. I have my ear pods. They're the EarPods Pro. I'm good. And it's like, you're not good. That's not good. I cannot stand. One of the things that has hurt my heart is seeing these interviews, like people on news programs when they're, they kind of shoot remote to their house and they have their AirPods in, and it sounds like, they got a nice camera. They look nice. The framing is good. The lighting is good. Spent a lot of time making sure we look good. And the reason why we did that is because we can see ourselves in the thing. So we look good, but
you can't hear yourself.
You can't hear yourself. Right. So let me make a quick recommendation. Get yourself a USB mic. Yeti is a great brand. They're what I use for voiceover stuff. You plug it in, your computer picks it up, and you're done.
Right.
And
they're truly plug and play now.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't hear it. You can't see it. But I promise you, the person on the other side, especially if it's someone that you talk to pretty often, when I get a new microphone, even now, all of my friends, they notice immediately, oh man, you sound like this, or it sounds like that. Right. And so like, that's a good feeling. Right. So do your friend on the other end of the computer screen a favor and get a good, solid.
Right.
Let me say $50.
Yeah.
$50.
Precisely. It doesn't need, I'm not the audiophile. I've just listened to him a whole lot. And then I did a little bit of my own research when I was, looking up this. Basically, most things that are plug and play are better than the mic that comes built into your computer.
100%.
And even though the mic on, say, AirPods is decent, it's directional. It's fine for telephone conversations, but it's behind your head or it's behind your mouth. It's what you need. A $50 microphone that you have placed in front of, it makes a huge difference. If you are in the industry that you are talking all the time, or you're doing this professionally, well then, even upgrade better. Like look at Brian and I now, we've got mics. Yeah, we've got mics that are right in front of our lips. Right. Yep. Right. So if you're in that kind of industry, then go ahead and upgrade it even more. But for most of us, for general business stuff going forward, a plug and play mic that sits in front of you, generally where you're going to be talking, will make the people on the other. You'll sound better. You'll sound clearer, and it's kind of like good grooming.
Yeah, this is a simple physics lesson.
Yep.
Okay, really quickly. So if you look on your EarPods, your AirPods, or whatever you're calling. And so for my YouTube people, it's like this is the size of the hole, right? It's this big. It's very, very small. And so all of your sound waves have to go in there, and they get compressed and they get muddled and the whole thing, versus a mic like this that has this much area to go into. Then your sound waves don't get compressed and it sounds nice and it's beautiful. So even though your AirPods cost you $250, the mic is trash. I'm sorry. The mic is trash. $6 of the development went into the mic, and all the other money went into what it sounds like for you, because that's what people care about.
Yeah, that's what people are watching movies and listening to music and stuff like that with it. Excuse me.
Okay, tickle. Oh, you got a tickle?
I got a tickle.
I'll tell you what. So microphones, don't use them. So normally, like if I wasn't foggy, I would have had something like right off the cuff here. But honestly, like I feel like I'm just in this haze of gray, cloudy darkness. Are you looking at what are you trying to do?
My daughter told me she got me some orchids this weekend, and they were on my desk, and I didn't even think about it because I didn't see them. I have a desk in my bedroom as well. I didn't see, and now up here in the studio, My daughter got me some lovely, beautiful orchids,
yeah.
and she repotted them for me. And okay, I'm sorry.
Nice.
I'm having a mom moment. Okay, I have 4 teenagers in the house right now.
So
Loving gestures are awesome right now. Okay, because we're at the stage where we're trying to, break away from mom and stuff.
Yep.
And also there are so many things that I could say, vanilla is a basic but yummy flavor. And one of my children will argue with me on that point because it's moral. It's imperative to argue with mom at this stage. Those are lovely orchids. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So meal planning.
Yes. Meal planning. So that's another thing that's just totally changed because here you are. If you are not at work or if you're not in the office building as much, the brick and mortar office, and you're at home, well, the kind of meals that I had this when the children went off to school, so when they were home and they were, or even through preschool, which was about age 5, I'm picking them up at noonish and 12:30. And so they're having lunch at home. So, all of my menus for 10 years had to deal with lunch in the week time. And then after they all went to elementary school, I didn't need to worry about lunch. Okay. Same kind of thing. Think through, okay, well, it looks like I'm going to be going to work consistently on Tuesdays and Thursdays and every third Friday for the general office meeting. Okay. So when you're trying to plan a meal, that on Monday, Tuesday, and Monday, Wednesday, and most Fridays, you need to cover breakfast, because you're not running in to get the bagel at the coffee shop when you get to the office, and you're not having lunch out with your workmates. Well, first of all, that frees you up for things like, do you want to have lunch with your neighbor or your friend? Like, it just changes how that whole structure works, which of course then is going to change. This is very life administration, change your shopping and stuff. So kind of look at what are your rhythms for when are you going to eat meals, or, hey, this is a great time. You know what? I am going to start that intermittent fasting thing because now I have more control of my time than I have if I have to factor in the blocks always of driving to and from work.
Yes, absolutely.
It's amazing how, even if your commute is, I know we've gone over this before and everybody's probably talked about it a ton. Even if your commute is just 20 minutes, that's 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back. That's 40 minutes, then plus transition time. That's an hour out of your day every time. That now you've kind of gotten that back on any day that you don't have to go into the brick and mortar office.
Yes.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And so, I think that sort of covers our next point was really transportation, right?
Oh, whoops.
So
that was, I segued without even
knowing it. So that's
excellent.
You're
the other things to think about is, okay, so what kind of transportation are you going to use? So for instance, a lot of people in major cities maybe are not going to be going so quickly back to mass transit. That's one of the things I think might be a slow comeback. So how are you going to, when do you need to go into the brick and mortar office or anywhere else that you're going, because maybe it's like, oh, okay, well, my family lives an hour and a half away. So since I now have what is essentially 4-day weekends that I don't have to be in the office, well, then I'm going to go out to, my family homestead every weekend. Whatever it is for your own situation, how are you going to do it? I did not put that on airplane mode when we started.
I didn't tell you. So that's my fault.
You didn't tell me. You didn't remind me,
I didn't remind
So
you.
I've actually gotten multiple texts during this podcast.
More than ever.
Yeah, more than ever. I think I'll stick it on airplane mode.
There we go.
Got it. Yeah. So how are you going to do that transportation? Does that mean that you need to get a car? Does that mean that you're selling your car? Does that mean that you're going to use the train rather than the subway? Obviously there are all sorts of, there's endless variety about how you might sort that out, but now's the time to go, so if you're going to need a car going forward, now's the time to probably look into getting it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Or budgeting for it or however.
So we've talked about organizing. So we have this conceptual idea of some of the things that we're going to be doing, right? We're going to take care of our closet. We're going to make sure that we have our wardrobe dialed in. We're making sure our home office is good. We have gone on Amazon. We bought a relatively decent mic, lunch planning, meal planning, transportation. So we have it all organized. Okay. So now we actually have to plan and do it. Right.
Right.
So now we're in this space and we're thinking maybe, and I'm not a future prognosticator, but a couple months,
Right.
A couple months, we're going to be gathering. We're going to get together. So what does that look like?
It will be so nice. Well, it will be so nice. So yeah. What does it look like? Count on it. It's coming up. And so start to plan for it. Here you go. What would you like it to look like? So have you always wanted to have, say, a monthly dinner party? Go ahead and start laying the groundwork for that right now.
Yeah.
So, let's say we're end of March, coming up on April, plan for summer. If you have to push it back a little bit because things aren't quite solid yet, well, that's easy. It's easier to push it back than it is to try and plan for it at oh, well, gosh, everything opened up faster than I thought. So let's get this planned on the fly. No, go ahead and plan for these things now. And if you plan for an evening in May kind of dinner party, regathering thing where you just, I don't know, invite your neighbors and your coworkers over for a barbecue. I'm just throwing this out here. And you have to push it off until August.
So be it.
I mean, that's an email and a date change, really.
And it's not like anyone's going to be upset.
Right. If you come up on, May the 4th and
I see what you did there.
I didn't even think about it. If you come up on May the 4th and you're like, you know what, I'd like to do a party next week because things are really open and we can gather again and I want to see everybody. Well, it's hard to throw that together at the last minute. So go ahead and think through it. Be proactive.
May the 4th is Star Wars Day, by the way.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, I mean, like if you're listening to this and you don't know that we love Star Wars, then go back and listen to the 60 other episodes that we reference it in.
Oh, well, in our Discord server is getting ready to go, like maybe even this afternoon, we're sending out the email saying, here's the link to get on the Discord server. Yeah, we have a protocol droid as our bot.
We sure do.
Because Discord has bots and we have to rename it because MeBot is just not.
No, and it is a deep Star Wars cut.
It is like if you're a Star Wars person, go Wikipedia.
Wikipedia?
Yeah, go Wikipedia the name and it's like, oh, as soon as we found it, we're like, yeah, there's our bot.
Yeah, this is our bot.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about gathering. Fantastic. This next point, let me just sort of jump off on this one. Service, right? So looking for ways to serve your community, your neighbors, your church, whatever,
Right.
Listen, it has been an extremely long time since we have been in the position to be able to serve people in a way that is meaningful to you, right? So like we have been able to serve people with maybe food or other sort of catastrophe sort of things. But like when you're just talking about service in the sense of, I don't know, like going over and like taking care of a neighbor for some reason, or I'm going to go do a food bank thing because I haven't done that in a while. And I was,
Gonna go sort the donations at this charity thrift store.
Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of that stuff they've still been doing it, but it's been very constrained, and socially distanced and everything. As that starts to jump in.
Yeah.
Jump in. And I encourage you to make it as local as possible because
always
you want to meet your neighbors. You want to do so for right now, every once in a while you see clusters of people out there doing it because so much is dead in Houston. Vines that had lived for 20 years got wiped out. And so neighbors are going around and helping each other out, clean out, fig vine off their fences.
Yeah.
Especially like communal neighborhood fences and stuff like that. So there's all sorts of things that you can think through and do that have you meet your neighbors. And there's no better way to network, get sticky in the, getting to know each other way than serving together.
And let me give a little commercial break here. So last week, 2 weeks ago, last week was a blur. 2 weeks ago, so, we're like 2 weeks after the freeze at this point. And so we got lots of dead trees. And so because now this would not have been the case 2 years ago, by the way, when we started this podcast and all that sort of stuff, because I wasn't very good with neighbors. Like I don't like when I pull into the car or I pull into the driveway in my car, I just want to go inside and just leave me alone. Okay. Not anymore. Anyway. So so in this case, everything had died and there was probably 6 or 7 of us that we just said, we're going to take care of the trees in front of our houses. Right. So like a couple neighbors down is where I got my dog from. And then, up and up and up and up. So this 7 or 8 houses that we all trimmed the trees, right? We
Right.
just went, so basically like we just did one, we just did what we could. And then, we kind of
Everybody got their chainsaws and lopers,
Yep.
and you just worked
And we
together and
just went
did
through
each lawn at a time.
Yep. And it was awesome. Now, the reason it stopped is because nobody knew neighbor number 9. Nobody knew neighbor number 9. And so we knocked on the door, rang the doorbell, but no one's ever seen neighbor. I mean, could not tell you who lived at that house, but because they weren't part of our community, they missed out on taking care of their lawn and their tree branches up front. And that's a harsh truth, right? So the reality is that get involved, get to know your neighbors, because even if it's a small situation like this, we're cutting trees, what a benefit it was to be part of this community. Imagine if it had been something else.
Yes. Now, also, because, cutting trees, hard,
Absolutely.
real sweaty,
Yeah.
blistery hands, back hurting work. Did you have fun?
Had a great time.
Yep.
We drank some beers. We made sure no one died from falling branches. And it ended up not even
the kids are going to remember
Yeah.
it for because I remember Hurricane Alicia, which was 85, 86, something like that. And our neighborhood, the dads and the moms, so the moms were pulling it was still much more that way. Moms were pulling all of the stuff out of the freezer and everybody was cooking it. And the dads were all, sawing down the trees and stuff like that. The kids, we were hauling. I'm almost 50 years old and it's still one of my best memories of childhood.
I mean, yeah. The bags of leaves and the piles that we put together for the kids to jump in and swallow around in, I'm like, put it in my yard. I don't have any grass anyway. Come on, let's go. I don't care. I'm getting this taken care of. So anyway, it's just, it just goes to show you that you're not you're serving, not just to serve, you're serving because you're going to create connections. But then more importantly, when we did the couple that, they're older and they have these 2 dogs and there's just no way that they're going to be able to take care of what needs to be taken care of for their home unless they spend, thousands of dollars to get it all taken care of. When, you go home that night and you feel amazing. You feel, there is a feeling in the giver as well as the receiver. Right. And so I would just really encourage, now's the time because we've been so closed off for so long.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Just
so look for it. Research those things. Like I said, look for the thrift shop around you. Look for the community center around you. Look at your own neighborhood and your own street. Stuff will come.
Yeah, and get uncomfortable, right? Just don't always do the thing that is super easy. That comes, you're with the same people. Oh, I always do. No, go find something new. Find something different and fresh. Just try something, because in this past year, it's so easy. I don't want to say lazy. Lazy is not the right word, but it's so easy just to be at home and be comfortable. Just be comfortable all the time. We've forgotten what it's like to be uncomfortable and stretch yourself out. So go serve, man. Go serve. Okay, I'm done. Scheduled rhythms.
Yeah. Okay. Not just your work rhythms, but other rhythms in life are probably becoming a little more evident of what they're going to look like going forward. So start intentionally scheduling them.
Yeah.
Stop guessing about them now and start saying, okay, this is what we're going to do on Monday nights. This is what we're going to do on Tuesday afternoons or whatever, and just start locking things in. Okay. You know what? I don't have to go. I know we use the work one all the time, but it's probably the biggest one I'm not going to be going to the office every day. So I can do this, say, exercise class up at so-and-so at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. If you're at home doing, unless you have an actual conference call going on at that hour, and obviously don't double book things, but you have a little bit more flexibility. I was actually talking to a friend of mine recently about that. Just there's a bit of a mind, even though lots of people are working at home now, there's still a bit of the mindset of the workday being, 8 to 6. Absolutely. But, if the only solid thing in that you have is a, 2 conference calls, one at 11 and one at 2, let's just call it that. you know what? Your lunch break can turn into a workout thing because now, you can easily want to work from home day, kind of push it off. So, well, I'm working till 7, like, especially for older people my age, there's a sense that my butt's supposed to be in the seat for this block of time.
Yeah.
And even with all of this at home working stuff, it's been hard to kind of break that mindset of I sit at my desk from 8 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
You
because
don't have,
I'm working.
Right. You
I'm
don't
working.
have to. You can actually take a 2-hour chunk, an hour for lunch and an hour for a workout, and come back and you can sit at your desk while sweaty in the afternoon. I mean,
right.
You have some more options. Go ahead and look at what those options are and start locking those things in. So if you want to do a workout class at 2:00 in the afternoon, unless you have another conflict, you can do that.
You can do it.
You can, especially if it's only like happening one day, like you have the flexibility to do that. Think through it and recognize that. And for those of you who are relatively new and are like, what are you talking about? I have tons of flexibility. Okay. The other side of that is that sometimes you think you have too much. You think you have so much flexibility that you don't go ahead and schedule it. And then it ends up getting away from you, or you end up with the thing, well, I took, this 2-hour break in the morning and this 3-hour break in the afternoon. And now you are in the weeds because you didn't get as much work done as you thought. Right? Lock this stuff in. Think about the schedule that you want to have. What schedule do you want in October of this year? Aim for that.
Yep. It's rhythms and discipline.
Yep.
That's the key from working at home, having discipline to do what you need to do when you need to do it. And then also getting the flexibility to do what you want when you want to do it. Right. And then this is my favorite point on this whole list. The last one, because it's
coming back. And as a matter of fact, we've started this because I actually wrote these show notes about 3 weeks ago. The show notes say travel might be time to start booking. Okay. My husband and I talked about this because he's the one in our marriage that does all the travel booking, right?
Yeah.
We talked about this. Might be time to start booking. Oh no, get your butt on it quickly.
Yeah. It's not even might.
Yeah, it's not might anymore. It is, in fact, the time to start booking.
Yep.
People are starting to think, okay, we're going to be able to travel again. If it's see family, if it's vacation, whatever, stuff's filling up fast.
Yeah. And I mean, even here, I think quickly, I want to say that everyone can get the vaccine on Wednesday.
Yes. So Texas opens up the vaccine eligibility to everybody over the age of 16 on Wednesday.
Right. So I mean, like, there it is, kids. Like, you know,
you can get jabbed, and then in 2 weeks,
Yep. But so, like, for me, I want to see my family, and
Yeah. When was the last time you were in Boston? 3 years ago?
Yeah, about that. I mean, because I had a trip sort of on the books, and then everything happened, and I usually go back like every year to 18 months, and I'll spend a week there. And
So the next thing you know, it's been 3 years.
Yeah,
and
it's been 3 years. Yeah, and so I can't wait to go back. Can't wait to go back. Very excited. Love Houston. So.
Honestly. So most of this stuff that we're talking about today is thinking forward, but now not just thinking forward in theory about what your life's going to look like in the next 6 months, but in concrete. Start locking the things in, start doing the sorts, start the purchases, whatever it is you need. Okay, yeah, I'm going to need a wardrobe that's a little more like this. So I've redesigned it, and then I need to purchase these 3 things to fill it out. Great. Go for that. I need to reassess how my menu goes, and what meals I have at home and what meals I'm prepared to cook when I'm going to eat out. Need to start putting traveling on the schedule. Like, it's the time to start pulling the triggers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great way to close it out.
Cool.
It's perfect.
Excellent. You did pretty well for your fogginess.
Can I tell you that I feel like I did terrible?
No, you did fine.
I mean, I feel like
he's not his normal energy, but I knew it was coming, so I think I bumped up.
Okay, yeah. I think you did. If anything, yeah. I mean, you basically spoke for me a couple of times. You're just like, oh, I know what he's thinking. I will say these words. I'm like, thank you.
Because he has a slightly cloudy look in his eyes.
Yeah, right. If you've been listening to on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, wherever you get your podcast, please consider commenting and giving us a positive review, whether that be a 5-star review or a thumbs up or anything like that. If you're watching on YouTube, please click the subscribe button and a thumbs up for the like on there. Write us comments. Tell us what you're excited about getting back to the new normal, right? We want to hear what you're excited about. Absolutely. Like we said, we'll have that Discord information on the website and in the show notes. So that's where you can connect with us. Just click there, and we just can't wait to meet you guys. We'll have some fun questions to kind of figure out who you are, just like in a fun way.
I'm going to send the Discord link to everybody who signed up on the website. So people that have subscribed to the website,
cool.
Y'all will get a Discord invite link.
Very cool.
Hopefully this afternoon, might be tomorrow. I'm kind of in the weeds today.
Yeah, we'll see. Yes. Very soon. By the time that you hear this.
By the time you hear this.
Yeah, by the time you hear this. Other than that, I've been Ryan Talon.
And I have been Leslie Loftus.
You guys have been awesome. Thanks for putting up with me.
Thanks.
See you later. Bye-bye.